where everybody's at today. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Charlene. Yeah, it's another day in paradise. Here we go. All right. Let's get on to it with another day in paradise. Woot, woot, woot. Well, it is officially Scorpio season. Welcome, everybody, to Scorpio. She's like, oh my God, that sounds so ominous. Good morning, Erica. Um, well, it is. I mean, we have a full house here. We have a full house in Scorpio, and we have a full house in Taurus. Now, if you're a person who has a full house in Scorpio and a full house in Taurus in your chart, hang on because you're going for a ride. So I thank God I don't have anything real. No, I don't have anything in Taurus. Mine's all in Scorpio. I just have full house in Scorpio, so I'm hanging on for my ride too. But we have with this energy, because we have Mars there, Mercury's there, the sun is there. We have Pluto in Capricorn and Saturn at the end of Aquarius. So what does this all mean? Well, this means that we're in for a ride. This is where you're entering into, I don't think the state still has a Speaker of the House yet. Like, holy shit. They just canceled Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart. They just canceled him, which I thought was quite hilarious. But he spoke out against, not against. Well, he was talking about AI and China and how China, I think, is spying and things like that. So he's just talking about that. And the U.S. government is still in a kerfuffle. Our PM is being thrown under the bus by the opposition eating an apple. And we have people rising up all over the place, voicing their opinions, which is fine, I guess. You know, you don't have to agree with everybody. So what does that mean? What does that all mean for us in this Scorpio season? Well, with the moon in Aquarius, this is going to be kind of weird because it's still like that quarter square where we had the moon in Capricorn squaring off to the sun, then going off into Aquarius and squaring the sun still. So it still kind of looks weird with that energy. And the moon is looking at Saturn as it's going towards Pisces. So this is about temporary plans, making some temporary plans. And at the same time, as you're doing that, because they're temporary, you might be feeling a little bit lost in things. And that's where Venus is. Venus is feeling lost. She's in Virgo and she's not too happy being in Virgo. And being in Virgo and you know, looking at the oppositions over at Pisces and trying to get a grip on things and wanting to feel better. With a lot of Mars energy, because the energy is, you know, with that Mars energy is just intense, right? It's like, come on, let's go. We're in here. He's in his home sign of Scorpio, and sometimes and I got like something to do with checks and balances and watching those checks and balances, and then looking over to Pluto. Pluto is, you know, in Capricorn still. The dispositor of Capricorn is Saturn. So he's looking over at Saturn. It's about wanting to get things done, but being practical about what you are wanting to get done, right? This is when you're going on a overnight trip, per se, and you want to take 20 bags with you, and all you need is an overnight. That's it. Maybe a change of underwear, you know, that's about it. And some lipstick and mascara or something. It's not about you. It's about looking at your spiritual self and showing up to what you have to do soulfully, showing up within your soulful self. And Saturn's there to help you. But if you're wanting to bring too much baggage, if you're wanting to bring all this other stuff with you, Saturn is going to say, no, go, baby. You're not going to get there. You're not going to get on there. You're going to find obstacles in front of you wherever you go. So this is about lightening your load and looking at what you are carrying and what you don't need. What are you over obsessing about? If you're obsessing about something, it's time to step back from it, because when you're in it and you're over obsessing about it, then you can't really see a solution to the problem that's there. And with Eris still nuzzled up to the North Node, because neither of them are moving too fast, Sun in Scorpio with Mars, um, it's going to be a cray cray kind of energy coming up this week. And I'm going to say this whole month in Scorpio season. So we really have to look at ourselves soulfully and not go into escapism, and whatever that form of escapism is for you. This is about our commitment and staying true to who we are and the course that we are on. And, and looking at what is important. What's important to us in our life? What is that importance? And putting that as priority. Because if we're not putting that as priority, we're going to find that we are going to be feeling lost, overwhelmed. And, this is where people's anxiety and uh, anxiousness and stress and everything can really reach to the boiling point, and people can be feeling like they are just bubbling over, like there's just too much. And it's also with what's deep embedded within our subconscious, what keeps coming up for us that we need to face and not try to hide away from it. So if there's deep setting fears that are there, this is a week to really start to look at it and face it, especially as we're moving towards a full moon partial lunar eclipse. And even though it's partial, it still has a lot of power. That means not everything, you won't be able to see everything. Some things are partially covered. So that partially covered can be bringing in, well, I can't see the full picture of things. I don't understand things. I need to see the full picture. If I don't see the full picture of things, our minds start going out and going crazy on us because we're not seeing what we totally want to see. And it's, bringing in some deep embedded subconscious energy that we're afraid of. This is about true grit. This energy is about, basically survive. This is a true grit. If you're able to survive anything and get out of the traps that hold you back, this is a time it's digging deep into what you really know, and your truth and your soulfulness and your spirituality, and not going around chasing things that you think are a quick fix, or things that you think are going to get get things done for you immediately. This is about looking at how you are showing up each and every day and being responsible, because that Pluto and Capricorn is all about responsibility, about showing up, doing the work, and embracing and facing the fears. And this energy about toughness and grit is huge, especially with the Sun in Scorpio with Mars there, and with Eris in the North Node, and all the energy that's coming in, or that's already there um, in Taurus. So we have to look at our foundational stuff. Being water, it is emotional. There's deep emotions that are going to come up. That's what Scorpio does. It brings in the deep emotions. It brings in a lot of the subconscious guiltiness and shamefulness that we kind of try and hide. And this is a beautiful time to actually cut clear and delete them, release them, let them go. This is what this energy is all about at this time. Tomorrow morning at 11, I'm going to be doing a meditation and prayer. I put the link up on my Facebook. I'll be putting that up again. And if you can't get the link, just let me know and I can send you the link. It's a free meditation and prayer. It'll be under an hour. I'm going to say 30 minutes to an hour. Yeah, an hour would be the longest it would go. But it is for us to reconnect with our own inner peace in a time where we're going to be feeling a lot of turmoil, a lot of transformation, a lot of upset in the world around us. And even though we may not be focused on what is going on in the Middle East or focused on what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and everything else that goes along with that, uh, we feel it. We feel it within ourselves. We feel that vibration. We feel that, we were wondering why we're so anxious or why we feel so overwhelmed. We may, many of you who are quite beautiful empaths and these beautiful blossoming flowers, that you're just absorbing all of the crap. And it's about coming into our inner peace and allowing ourselves some time just to come into the self and come into the heart, allow ourselves to ground and come into the oneness in a prayer and meditation. So we're going to be doing that tomorrow. And just having that connection, I feel that's very important for us. I'm going to try and do that, maybe once a week. We'll see how it goes for us to do that. The other thing is Calgary weather has just changed on us. So I was going to do some of the ghost tours, but anything -10, Mama don't like going outside. Just saying. I don't care how bundled you are, anything below -10, I'm really not into going outside. So it's going down to about -13. If it says -13, it's probably going to be colder than that this week. Plus, we have a snowfall warning coming in today and tomorrow. So yay, us. Ooh, we got snow. Ooh. So I won't be doing the ghost tours. I'll probably just put that to bed for now and look at doing that probably in the springtime when it gets nicer again. Although it would be nice. I might just do a walkabout on my own and just film it. And you guys can join me on that. The other thing that's coming up is my astrology class on November 12th. It's on a Sunday. It is a 10 to 4 class. It's $50. And it's just going to be a overall of astrology, just telling you about, the houses, the glyphs, things like that. A little bit of what a square, a quincunx is, and looking at your own chart. So we will be doing that on November the 12th if you are interested in learning a little bit more of the astrology and maybe getting to understand more of what I'm saying when I talk about big old bad Saturn and mean old, Mars. And it's funny because a lot of these energies, like Mars, did not start off being big and mean. He was the one about farming and, bringing in the fertility and but he was one that would go out there and still work after midnight to plow the fields and get things done. So he has that energy, that go getter. Let's go and get this. Let's go forward and do it. And that's what you're going to be feeling, and that's that grit. That's that, toughness and grit is Mars, because he's getting you to really feel, okay, we got to get shit done. We got to do the things that we need to do. And there's no more sitting around crying. I was watching, anyways, I watched some of it. It's called Tough Dads or something on Netflix. Anyways, the one scene that I loved is that, his kid fell and he got a boo-boo, and his dad goes, "Oh, put some dirt on it." Rub some dirt in that. And the other dad's like, "Oh no, you got to clean it out and get the polysporin." And the guy is like, "No, put some dirt on it." That's what I feel is like. It's like we got to put some dirt on it. It's not a time to be whiny. It's not a time. It's time to get the stuff done. And this is go-to time. This is go-to time. We are going to be witnessing some crazy things. I think I was watching something else about the banks in Great Britain that they all went down. So there was no, their debit cards did not work for a day, like a full day or something, anywhere in Great Britain. So a lot of things came to a standstill there, which was kind of, these are the kinds of things that we're going to be witnessing, right? So things like your card, you're going to go and your debit card's not going to work, or the debit cards are all going to be down and you can't get any money out. Like all the machines are done. Like they're not operating at all. They close them all down. So, and then the banks will close because the debit machines aren't going and they can't do anything. These are some of the things that will be being witnessed. I mean, we are seeing where, um, as we are, and this was what makes, I'm going to say, the hard, tough of being that spiritual person and staying in that light and wanting to bring forth, goodness and love and happiness to the world. And there are these outside obstacles that you are unable to control. You can't control the debit machines going down. The food prices, you can't control the food prices at this time, but what you can control is what you have at home, right? And that's where this energy is coming in, because this isn't fool around, happy puppy time. I hate to say, this next month is going to be a month that is going to test a lot of people and test their grit. This energy this month is going to be one that is going to push a lot of people to the limits of, how much more can we take? And there's a long ways here to go, baby. I mean, there's a hell of a long ways to go. The biggest question I get asked all the time is, when will this be over? And my answer now is 2032. That's when it's going to be over. And that's when we're going to be feeling things, I guess, normal, where you'll be having air travel somewhat back to normal. Things are going to be feeling, in a moving way. Things are going to be moving in a which is very much what happened after World War II. Right? Because it took a couple of years after World War II for things to start feeling normal again. And look what happened to flight. I mean, people were flying, you had Pan Am, you had all these, I mean, you got to have these luscious dinners when you flew and all kinds of stuff. Well, there is that energy that's coming, but it is us going through this toughness at this time. And it's just the vice grips are squeezing more. And as the vice grips squeeze it ever more, this is where people are going to be rising up, standing up, speaking out more. This is where you're going to find more people are not going to take what's being presented to them. And we're going to see a lot of clashes. There's going to be a lot of clashes, between different people that, and I was explaining on my vision board that we had this last week, and which was absolutely fabulous. Just it was a great weekend. There was so much there, so much information. We got through it, and hopefully gave them a basis for doing and creating their beautiful vision board. But this is where I find that, some people get stuck, when I was talking to them about the different levels, right? So there are 12 different levels in a building, and you're thinking of a square building. And the first level is your foundation. Each level is built, but it's built on some form of foundation that of you knowing, some of you knowing, or some belief system that has brought you to that structure. Doesn't mean you can't revamp it, or you can't look at it different, but there is that energy. There is that energy, right? So you got the first level. The first level is your belief system. What religion were you brought up? What people were you raised around? And when you look out that window at the first level, that's all you see, right? That's all you see. You don't see anything else. And a lot of people are only at the first level. They haven't moved up because this is all they see. They don't see anything else. And then you go to the second level, and gives you a little bit different view, a little bit better. And that's where people, start to broaden their ideas and start to sort of dabble in different things. And then you go to the third level and you start to really um, get drawn to different things, and your intuition starts to rise a bit more. You get to see a little bit higher up and understand why certain people act the way that they act. And then you're moving up to the fourth level. And that's where, a lot of consciousness comes in, and a lot of, new ideas and new ways of doing things and bringing in new structures. Now, a lot of people get stuck at that fourth level, which is your heart level, heart chakra. You're getting stuck at the heart chakra, where you next level is, you're going into the throat chakra. Well, you mean I got to speak up? I'd rather stay at the heart level and we'll just love everybody and just, and just spread that love. But in comes the voice. The voice is the activist. The voice is a person that has to say, you know what? I don't think that's a good idea. Do you? Have you looked at it from another point of view? And are you willing to look at it in another point of view? That could be very difficult when you're very staunch in what you believe in and what you think is true, right? And then you go to the third eye. The third eye is the inner eye. It is the eye that sees. It sees, right? It doesn't see with the eyes that you look around into the three-dimensional world. It is one that takes you deeper. And the one, when you close your eyes, you can see more clearly. To where you go to the seventh. And the seventh is like, whoa, okay, I'm in the crown state. This is like, wow, I can see a better view. Look at all what I can see. And then we move up into the ethereal grounds. The ethereal ones is where, like Buddha and Gandhi went, and many other great prophets of the time accelerated to, and we're able to see things, the Tao, see things in ways that we now take years to study and marvel at, right? St. Teresa of Avila, these are the people that really took things to a whole another level in order for us to be able to take a step back. And here's this energy that's telling us we need to take a step back to get a better look at what's going on, and not just be in the center of everything and get our shit in a knot. This is where we have to come in with our truth and our values of who we are, and not get hung up and have to say, well, I need my 10 baggage to go to an overnight stay. And it's, well, what are you afraid of? Why do you need the 10 bags? You only need a change of underwear, honey. We're only staying overnight. You can wear the same clothes because you're going to be back the next night. So you're going to be okay. And if you didn't bring the makeup, hey, I bet you there's going to be a bar of soap there. So in trusting that soulfulness, and trusting in that divine, that they're going to lead you and things will be provided. May not be provided exactly the way that you like it. If you're going to be the prima donna and want everything together and you want it this way and that way, you're going to find that you're going to get a slap in the face, and it's not going to be that way, because that's what Saturn does. Saturn does that. He slaps you in the face and says, fine. And he'll walk over you and leave you there for dead on the side of the road, because he's like, I'm here to help you. If you don't want me to help you, if you want to do it your own way, fine, go ahead. He does that every time. He's a tough bugger. But he says, you leave the bags, you come with me, and you trust, it's going to be okay. You got your structures down on what you want and where you want to go and what you want to build. Pluto and Capricorn, cool, let's go. You got the fortitude, Mars, Scorpio. The sun's there helping to shine away. With Mercury, is going to try and give you some communication. Venus is being a little bitch right now because she's in Virgo and she doesn't like to be there. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a whininess to you, and that's okay. Accept your whininess. Accept that part of you and say, yeah, I'm going to be a little whiny bitch right now because I'm not getting exactly what I want. But when you admit it to yourself and you see it and you're like, it's like the coffee I got today wasn't the best. They did a little bit of a mix up between Steve's coffee and my coffee. But hey, you know what? I got coffee, right? I got coffee. I was able to get a coffee. I was able to get it for free. Hell, good day. You know, at least I got coffee. Gotta look, that's how you have to change it around in order to see things in a better light. Let's pull some cards. So if you are wanting to get a reading done, definitely book in. Let me know. I got a couple spaces. Not today. Today I'm doing the full moon readings. If you're wanting a full moon reading, get a hold of me. Full moon readings are $35. So if you're wanting a full moon reading, yes, they did go up in price. And that's because it's the time it takes me to give you that little 15-minute reading takes a little bit to do. So if you're wanting to get your full moon reading, which is a recorded message I give to you about your chart and the energies coming in for you with this full moon, let me know. And I will record the message to you and send it off to your inbox. So those, you should be receiving them by the end of the day to tomorrow for your readings, for all those who've already ordered their readings. Oh, these are slippery today. Okay. What do we have? Ninth house. So the ninth house comes in. What is the ninth house? The ninth house is Sagittarius. Sagittarius has to do with, yes, faith of shooting your arrow. Where are you shooting your arrow? It's also ruled by Jupiter. So the ninth house has that Jupiter energy. What do you want to expand in your life? What do you want? Because Jupiter is sometimes known as sort of like Santa Claus. What do you want? What do you want for Christmas? We want to give it to you. The ninth house is that then you got to have faith that it's going to arrive. You got to have that belief system that I'm going to shoot that arrow and this is what I want and this is where it's going to be. Anise 9, famous, beautiful, I'm going to call her a prophet, I guess. She's done a lot of writing, a lot of statements. So we travel, some of us forever, to seek other states, other lives, other souls. Beautiful. So these are obstacles are being lifted, and letting know the obstacles are being lifted. The ninth house is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands, that destiny, that energy of where am I going? How am I going? What does that look like? This is about long distance travel, media, what's being said. What are you hearing? And it's also has to do a little bit with divination and astrology. So we have this energy that's coming in that's having us to really look at that journey that we have before us and what that journey looks like. And coming into the moon. The moon is our soul. The moon is a beautiful energy of intuition. And looking at where the moon is right now in Aquarius, it's looking at our energy and how it relates to that 11th house, that house of humanity, that house of connection. And the moon is also ruled by Cancer. And Cancer has to do with us looking at our intuition and how we are in tuned in listening to it, right? Listening to it. St. Teresa of Avila, all things must come to the soul from its roots, from where it is planted. And it brings for us the high priestess, the intuitive one. You may not see it all. She's not going to give you it all because you really have to come into that trusting. You got to come into that area, the dark night of the soul, as Saint John says. So the memory, it's the past, the wisdom, the shelter, the deep love. So the deep love that you have for your spiritual road, for that energy that's coming in. And our final card is Cancer. So we have the moon and then we get Cancer. Cancer is I feel. The moon is the soul of I feel, the intuitive one. The moon rules this sign. This is the fourth house. The fourth house has to do with home, family, brother, sister, This is the fourth house. And this is the energy that's saying, how am I connected with that around me and what is important? How does that make me feel? How does my family make me feel? How does my house feel? So the fourth house is very positive. It is ruled by the moon. So we have a double moon coming in, which is really letting you know that you really got to get into the depths of who you are and really trust in that awareness of who you are and be able to look at things that are hiding within you and allowing yourself to look at them deeply and have faith that all will be resolved. All will be well, but you got to trust in that higher power in order for things to come about. And sometimes you got to get out of your own way. So there you go. I want you guys all to have a fabulous, fabulous day. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all you say and all you be and all you do. So have a great day. Have a great Monday. And blessings, everybody. Bye bye. See you guys all later.